Hello, Friday. It's Friday. I can't believe it's like the third Friday of the year already. So exciting. Um, why don't you can start with your warm up. Remember, we have a 3-stage warm up. Your breathing, your mindful breathing, whatever works for you. I like 4x4, but whatever works for you, do your mindful breathing. Second thing, we want to focus, take whatever's maybe going on before we join this call or things we may have to do after this call, package them up, put them on the side, and just focus the best we can for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Third thing we want to do is write down with a physical pen and paper one thing that pops in your mind that you're grateful for right now. Share one thing you're grateful for right now. That's our little warm up. You can get going on that. So while we're waiting for hopefully a few more people to join, let's review what Neuro-Fitness Fridays are all about. Neuro-Fitness Fridays are an opportunity to develop a winning mindset. A winning mindset, a mindset that can really lean into the positive and away from the negative. And hopefully the lesson last week about the brain smart pursuit of happiness has helped some of you in that pursuit. What Neuro-Fitness Fridays are also about is an opportunity for us to learn tools, brain smart tools, to strengthen our brain muscles, to help us improve our decision making, improve our productivity, reduce our stress, and ultimately improve our happiness. Today, I have a very important topic, a thing that really is something that eats away at all of our happiness and our pursuit of happiness, and that's the drama or the noise inside our head. We're going to talk about defeating the drama in our head, defeating the drama in our minds. But before we do that, I remember last week, I asked you guys if you wanted to be up for a little challenge to do some homework. To complete this sentence, to me, happiness means. Now, to me, happiness means share with the others on this call what you came up with, so that you can be the guidepost or the guiding light for maybe somebody else, someone else to jump in and discover, maybe a nugget of truth that maybe that's what happiness means to them. If you recall last week, I shared, to me, happiness means being satisfied with where I am and where I'm going. Okay. Now it's important, the word means in this sentence. It's not this is what makes me happy. It's not the people or the things. It's the true meaning of happiness. Okay, we got one or two. We have happiness means sharing a moment of vulnerability with someone. That's terrific. Happiness means appreciating and being grateful for the family and friends I've been blessed with in my life. Happiness means snuggles with my son. There's seriously nothing better. That's terrific. Great things. Being appreciating and being grateful, to being at peace with your decisions. Another great one. A lot of times we rethink our decisions and we get to a, did I make the right decision? Did I do the right thing? And whether it's in business or our personal life, and we keep second guessing ourselves. Being at peace and saying, we're going to let the chips fall where they may. I made a decision based on sound judgment and sound facts, and then let's just live with it, live with the consequences. That's terrific. Okay, those are some excellent ones. So commend you all on good job with your homework assignment. For those of you that didn't have a chance to complete it, remember, Neuro-Fitness is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing quest, an ongoing participation in strengthening your brain muscles. So just keep working at it, keep doing it, and keep getting it until you get it right. Okay, so today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about defeating the drama in our heads. Importantly, we're going to talk about why it's happening, but more importantly, what we can do about it. Why it's happening and what we can do about it. Have you ever made a snap judgment that projected a negative view of the future? Like you just went, oh, this is bad thing is going to happen. You know, maybe a lot of times we've done that. Have you ever felt anxious about opening a letter or an email when you see an email pop up in your box and it's from somebody who you're a little hesitant to understand if they were going to share good news or bad news with you, and you became a little anxious or a little hesitant? You know, the movies even play that up, and you know, with the scene with the person getting their letter from college, whether they were accepted to college or not, and being fearful of opening the letter and having to ask their parents to, could you open this letter and read it to me? I can't bear to look at it. You know, I mean, I've felt that way. Others have felt that way. Last week, I got a letter from the IRS. I pulled it out of the mailbox and it was like, ooh, the IRS. This can't be good news. And I had to check myself. I had to work some of the tools that I talked about and we'll talk about here today. But again, I just, all those negative thoughts and came up, and all of those potential negative projections came up, right? Just a simple thought of opening a letter from the quote unquote IRS. Have you ever created negative stories when you get a message to return a call from a boss or a client or a customer? And you say, oh man, you just gave a presentation and your boss calls and you say, well, last time he wanted to see me, I got yelled at, and I'm sure I'm going to get yelled at again. He didn't like my presentation and I didn't do a very good job. Or my customer is really mad. She's always mad, and she's probably going to be mad again. And you create all these negative stories. Just got to tell you, it's totally normal. It's totally normal. Humans have been doing this for years. We've even talked about and developed phrases and catchphrases for it. You've heard the phrase jumping to conclusions. Everybody's heard that phrase. How about the phrase, are you making a mountain out of a molehill? Do you realize, I looked it up, the origin of the phrase, making a mountain out of a molehill. It's over 450 years old, the origin of that phrase. Humans have been creating drama in their heads for centuries. So what the drama you're experiencing is totally normal. I want to share with you what I call the drama escalator. Now here's an example of the drama escalator. Drama escalator usually starts with wonder and accelerates all the way to nightmares, sometimes over a short period of time, sometimes just like that. Let me give you an example. Let's say you get a call from your friend Jill, and you go, I wonder why Jill's calling me. She never usually calls me unless I call her first. I wonder why Jill's calling me. Wow. Gosh, Jill never really calls, but oh no, last month her mom was in the hospital. Maybe something's gone wrong with Jill's mom. Oh God, that would be terrible. I'm just so worried. The woman doesn't need any more problems in her life. Poor Jill. It's just so, oh my gosh, I'm sure that's it. I'm sure something's wrong with Jill's mom. Finally get a hold of Jill. And your first reaction isn't, hey, Jill, how you doing? Your first reaction is, Jill, is everything okay? you've completely gone up the escalator and made a mountain out of a molehill. Okay. We often do that. We often project those things. And why does this happen? Meet the drama monster. The drama monster is the cause of all of our problems in our heads. And when he's unleashed, he basically takes control of your brain. The drama monster lives in our brain, but he thrives on the negative bias in our brain. Remember, we talked about bad is stronger than good. The drama monster thrives on the negative bias in our brain. We talked about our brain's role is to protect us. The drama monster loves that role of the brain. Now, there's things our brain protects us from that are protecting us from physical harm. Like warning us, always scanning and warning us for like if we're up to physical harm. Let's take a very simple example. Touch a hot stove, you get burned. You don't go near a hot stove anymore. They created a brain map that says danger, danger, don't do that. But oftentimes our brain also protects us not just from physical harm, but from emotional harm as well. And this is the kind of protection the drama monster loves. The drama monster thrives and loves on the fact that brain tries to protect us from emotional harm. And this just sets his wheels in motion. The drama monster thrives on uncertainty. And the drama monster loves stories. The greater the uncertainty, the stronger the stories he makes up in our head. The more he shows up, the more self-doubt we have as individuals. That, man, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to make the team. I'm not good enough to do this project. I didn't get the best grades as my other friends in high school or whatever. The more self-doubt you have, the more the drama monster just loves and thrives on that self-doubt. The louder he gets. They said that there's an expression, the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. Which are you, a glass half empty or a glass half full person? Well, for me, I was like, what glass? I was so leaning into the possibles and the negativity and the possible negativity that could happen in life. And I lived my life of as the drama monster is almost like was with me daily, if not hourly. And then I had my big aha. A very close confidant and advisor and mentor of mine gave me this quote from a gentleman named Mark Twain. And Mark Twain said, I had a lot of problems in my life, and most of them never happened. I had a lot of problems in my life, and most of them never happened. See, even Mark Twain was haunted by the drama monster. It affects all of us at some point in our life, at some strength or some intensity. As I said, the drama monster loves stories. He loves stories based on assumptions. Let me give you an example. Here's a little workplace tale. There's a small little office, and every day the boss would come into work and he would pass the receptionist desk and he would say, good morning, Margaret. What's going to be a great day today? And he would go into his office. Now, one day, the boss walked in and he said, he was on the phone. He didn't say, good morning, Margaret. And he didn't even have a smile on his face. He looked very focused and maybe even a bit concerned. This worried Margaret. She immediately went and called a friend of hers and said, I think there's something wrong. I think the boss is like he's telling us, hey, there's something wrong. He's not looking happy, and I think that there's some really problems going on. And you know what happens in an office when one person spreads a piece of information like that to another person? They'll share it with another person and another person and another person. And by the end of the afternoon, the the fact that the boss did not say, "Good morning, Margaret," had escalated into the company was on the verge of bankruptcy and they were planning massive layoffs. Things can get out of hand up that drama escalator very fast if you don't watch it. The drama monster loves stories based on assumptions. The assumption that there's something wrong with the boss. Oh my goodness, what's wrong? And then projecting negativity into the future. The drama monster also loves stories based on negative past experiences, that map of self doubt. Say you had a bad meeting and you go in and you say, I'm fearful of the next meeting because I just had a bad meeting and I could get the same outcome and feel the same negative consequences. May not happen, but the drama monster thrives on that map of self-doubt and that past experience of negativity. He keeps us stuck in that negative swirl. All drama monster stories are fear-based stories. They're all based in fear. So maybe you can discover a way out of your drama monster stories. Maybe it's the way through my big aha and the Mark Twain quote, which says, I've had a lot of problems in my life and most of them never happened. Now, I'd like to move on right now to some what I'm calling brain smart tools for you. What are some brain smart tools for you to conquer and defeat this drama monster? First thing you need to do is pause. Now, I chose the word pause because I probably think when the drama monster is kind of like taking over and just going crazy, that it's probably too much to ask you to stop, to just say stop your thought and think. So let's just pause. Take a little bit of a pause, take a breath, and then let's look at what we can do about that, what we can do about moving forward in a positive mindset. I'm going to give you 5 things you can possibly do. Let's go through them one at a time. The first thing you can do is come back from the future. The drama monster was living in those fear-based stories. He was living in the future. So just come back from the future. Ground yourself back in the present. Right? Ask yourself, did this really happen? Or am I just making up a story that it might happen? Am I sure this is happening? Or is this just a story of something that might happen? And as you're grounding yourself in the present, not the future, rely on that positive mindset and those grounding tools like breathing and focusing on positive thoughts. Those things can help you. Ask yourself, what music is playing in my head right now? It's become almost cliche that in movies and TV shows, when something bad happens, they always play the foreboding, scary music, like Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. And you can always tell with the sound effects and the music they're playing, something bad's going to happen. Something scary might happen. When something scary might happen, you're usually not hearing happy, joyful music. So ask yourself, the story you're playing in your head, is it being accompanied by scary music or happy music? Chances are the answer is it's being accompanied by scary music. And that will just reinforce the fact that you're projecting negativity, you're projecting stories, you're the potential of doom and gloom. Right? Think about changing the station and rewinding and moving to some happier music. Here's the third thing you can do. Seek facts, not friction. Seek facts, not friction. Facts ground us in what is, not what might be. Let me give you a really simple example. How do you separate facts from judgments, facts from non-facts? She raised her voice is a fact. She yelled at me is a judgment. Okay? The simple fact that someone raised their voice could be interpreted by you as a judgment that you were yelled at. Now, that's a very simple example, but we can look in a lot of ways. What are some facts? What are the facts of the situation versus what filter or judgment that our drama monster may be clouding up the situation with? What are the facts and not the judgments? Because the judgments create swirl, they create negativity, they create friction, and they create stress. So seek facts, not judgments. This will help fight the assumptions that you're making, and this will not feed that evil drama monster. You know why? Because the drama monster, as I said, he loves stories, but he hates facts. You know, some of you may relate to this, but it's like giving the drama monster Brussels sprouts. He hates Brussels sprouts and he hates facts. So feed him with facts. Here's the fourth thing you might be able to do. Embrace the word maybe. Embrace the word maybe. The word maybe will help fight absolute or doomsday thinking. When we have that negative past experience that created that map of self-doubt in our heads, and then we project to the future and we say things like, this will always happen to me, or my boss will never buy this recommendation. He or she always does this, or he or she is always afraid to take a risk, or my customer won't like this because the last time we went up with a proposal similar to this, they rejected it out of hand. So think about just adding the word maybe in there. Add the word maybe to replace always, never, every time. And say, that's what happened last time. And I'm not sure what's going to happen this time. We've learned from it. We've made adjustments. We've strengthened it. And we've done the best we can. So maybe they'll have the same reaction and maybe they won't. You can't control the future of other people's responses. All you can control is how you respond to the present and how you will respond when something does happen in the future. Don't burden yourself with what might happen in the future. Ground yourself in the present. Embrace the word maybe. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And here's probably one of the most important ones of the 5. I call it the when I, then I. The when I, then I. And here's what I mean by that. The when I, then I. It's an implementation intention that says, when I start thinking doomsday thoughts, when I start projecting negativity, when I start jumping to conclusions, when I start making a mountain out of a molehill, when I start, whatever it is to you that triggers you as the most thing, whenever I start feeling stories in my head based on self-doubt. Then what will you do? What will you do about it? You may do something like, then I will think happy thoughts. Then I will breathe deeply. You may say, then I will ask Alexa to change the channel of the music in my head. Or I will reach up and grab and squash that drama monster and just visualize that. For me, mine was when I start thinking negative thoughts, like, oh my God, why are they calling? I'm sure something's wrong. When I start thinking negative thoughts, I'm just going to remember what Mark Twain said. That was my when I, then I. I'd like you to pause now and think about what could possibly be your when I, then I. And then share it with others here, because they may be inspired by what really makes sense for you. Like I say, it could be as straightforward as I'm going to think happy thoughts, or I'm going to breathe, or I'm going to rebalance myself, or practice mindfulness. Or it can be as silly as squashing the drama monster. What might work for you? When I, then I. And it's important when you capture this thought to write it down and say it out loud. So when that thought happens to you, the when I thought happens to you, the when I situation happens to you, then you can reprogram your brain away from the negative into a positive brain map. And it will help by having written down thoughts and spoken out loud thoughts. That can become your mantra for defeating the drama monster. When I start spiraling, I say to myself out loud, hey, I love you. I got you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Don't forget to say it out loud. That's another important part of it. Anyone else? When I, then I. When I fail, then I remind myself I'm still learning. Great one, great one. When I fail, then I remind myself I'm still learning. I'm not a failure. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. Growth mindset. When I catch myself having negative thoughts, I will take a deep breath and I will think of a positive way to rephrase them. Very good. Very good. Taking a deep breath rebalances our brain chemicals, mindful breath, and then think about positive ways to rephrase them. Well, let's wrap this up. So your homework assignment for this Neuro-Fitness Friday is, if you didn't have a chance to complete your when I, then I, I'd like you to work on that, because it's going to be a powerful, powerful way. Like I said, it can be as simple as some of the ones we shared here today, simple yet powerful, or it could be as silly as squashing the drama monster. It could be either one. So just think about that and think about your when I, then I, and change that music in your head. Squash the drama monster. So that's your homework assignment for this week, and to build on that and to learn that. And I think the whole notion of squashing the drama monster really builds on the subject we had last week, which was really about the brain smart pursuit of happiness. So the drama monster is one of the key things that derails our happiness. So this is a great way to do that. Next week, we're going to talk about another powerful way to reinforce our happiness and to lean into that. And we're going to talk about the brain smart power of purpose. And that's next week's topic, the brain smart power of purpose. So my wish for you today is, I hope you learn something about why the drama monster exists. And I hope you learn some tools on how to control him or her. And I hope you had some fun and maybe a smile along the way. So what I'd like to say in conclusion is, hello, Friday. Hello, Drama Monster. We've got you under control now. Have a terrific weekend, everyone. God bless you.